It's a treacherous waterway, one of the worst in the world.
The Columbia River Bar, where the river dumps 13 million gallons a minute into the raging Pacific Ocean, is a nautical burial ground. More than 2,000 ships have gone down in these unpredictable waters since they began keeping records.
On some days it can be absolutely calm as glass, but within hours it can change dramatically and you can have 40-foot waves.
Jeff Smith would know. He is the curator of the Columbia River Maritime Museum in Astoria. The story of the Graveyard of the Pacific is told in graphic detail here. The name, the Graveyard of the Pacific, is not an overly dramatic name.
No, sadly. The entrance to the Columbia River is littered with ships in and around the Columbia River.
The Columbia River Maritime Museum has many exhibits that tell the story of local river and sea commerce and the perils involved. Here in the lobby of the museum is a large graphic representation telling the stories of some of the 2,000 ships that went down in the Columbia Bar. I'm picking number 7. I hit the button, number 7 lights up, and here is the story. It's the steamer General Warren. It ran aground on the Clatsop Spit January 18, 1852. The ship was pounded to pieces by the surf, and 42 lives were lost. Maritime technology has improved vastly over the years, but the Columbia River Bar is still an unpredictable beast for ships looking to come and go.
And that's, again, why there are Columbia River Bar pilots whose task it is to safely guide ships from the ocean to here in Astoria and vice versa. And then river pilots that take a ship here and take it upriver another 89 miles to Portland or Vancouver.
This watery graveyard is but a part of the focus here. Stories are told from the days of the indigenous people's dugout canoes all the way to modern container ships. Another interesting maritime factoid: 1/4 of our country's grain passes through this waterway to the rest of the world. There are several large displays of the local maritime history here.
In this room we have full-size boats. Behind us is a fishing trawler built here in Astoria that fished out of Newport. And what you hear behind us is the interactive exhibit on the Coast Guard's mission on the Lower Columbia. We have a 44-foot motor lifeboat mounted in the window. And then over here we have a Columbia River gill netter that was built here in Astoria and used locally.
Tied to the museum dock is a unique former floating lighthouse, which was anchored 5 miles off the mouth of the Columbia to guide ships to the river. We visited Astoria on a picture-perfect sunny day. On the surface, the waters looked calm, but the Pacific has its own plans and things can change quickly. And all the technical bells and whistles on board are often not enough to safely pass the bar.
Despite navigation improvements, aids navigation, ship technology, all of that, despite all that, you still need to have a qualified pilot on board to safely get you from point A to point B.
Details of maritime commerce on the Columbia run deep here. On your next visit to Astoria, rain or shine, carve out a couple of hours to immerse yourself in this meaningful maritime history. In Astoria, this is Dave Jones for Destination Oregon.